So I was once having a conversation with a liberal atheist on the battlegrounds of Facebook comments. And this guy was like your, emotionally charged keyboard warrior, just completely ready for battle. And he basically was arguing that the Bible was written by man, ergo it is not trustworthy. And I was like, well, your textbook was written by man, CNN is written, by man, the stories. So, you know what I mean? And then he basically went on to say that he, doesn't need religion. He basically treats others as he wants to be treated. And I was like, that sounds a lot like what Jesus said. And here's what people don't realize is the golden rule is from the Bible. The golden rule is literally, the author is Jesus, okay? But that's okay. We can go on with our lives pretending that the golden rule was just made up by, I don't even know who, but just not Jesus. Just not Jesus, because we don't want to believe the God of the Bible. We do not want to believe the Bible because it's written by man. But let's believe our textbooks. Yep. All right, guys. So let's talk about the golden rule. All right. These people who say that they live by the golden rule, but they actually don't. They just like the way that it sounds, and they like to say that they live by it. They like to think that they live by it when they don't. Okay. So let's get into the heart of this issue here. All right. And this is what I realized is that the words mean and hurting can be used interchangeably. Okay. So like I used to be a mean person. I used to be a really mean person because I was a really hurting person inside. I was unable to, carry out the golden rule, God's commandment of loving others, really. Because instead of doing unto others what I would want done to myself, I could only do unto others what had been done to me in the past, right? So it's that saying, hurt people hurt people. So basically, if we live by our hearts and if we serve our dysfunctions, guys, we can't love others. We cannot live out the golden rule, all right? And I want to bring up 1 Peter 3:9, which basically says, do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult, but instead repay evil with blessings, And it's basically that saying like, love your enemies, pray for those who persecute you, bless your enemies, things like that, okay? And that really comes down to forgiveness, because that is all blessing our enemies, praying for those who persecute us, is all lumped up in the act of forgiveness, all right? So forgiveness is like the avenue by which we can actually bless others, but not only our offenders, but also gift ourselves. We bless ourselves with healing. And the scars that like once used to hurt us, God actually rewrites into our stories that can speak to others and reach others, like the messes that used to define us, God turns into the messages and the medicines that can heal and treat others. So really what once hurt and destroyed us, God uses to actually rebuild us so that we can treat others with compassion. The compassion that we wish that we received. We can treat others with the understanding that we wish we were given, or with the grace that we wished that we were shown, right? So God makes us healers from hurters, all right? He makes us peacemakers from troublemakers. He makes us lovers from destroyers. That's what he does. So we can be understanding, you guys, because we know what it is to be understood, all right? We can listen because we know what it is to be dismissed or ignored or overlooked or unheard, right? We can be compassionate because we know what it is to be neglected. We can be silent because we know what it is to be the subject of gossip and rumors. And we can love because we know what it is to be unloved, right? And unknown. Ultimately, this is how we can repay evil with blessings, and we can pray for our enemies and love them and, bless them with what they can't give us. And this is how we can practically live out the golden rule, and love others and treat others as we would want to be treated, not as we had been treated in the past. It's how we can do unto others what we'd want done to us, not as what had been done to us in the past. The whole reason that I mentioned that story in the beginning is because when people come at us and attack us, like with a machine gun of their arguments and opinions and stuff, and they come off as mean, we have to realize that, like I said, mean and hurting are words that can be used interchangeably. And we have to approach them in love, right? Because otherwise we're just adding fuel to that fire. But we have to approach them in love and understanding, knowing that meanness, that mean front that they've got, the facade, isn't who they really are. Underneath that, peel back the layers, and there's going to be a lot of hurt. There's going to be a lot of wounds and scars underneath there, and that's where we can bring healing to them and actually love them and just bring them Jesus, you know? So that's what I wanted to encourage you guys with. You know, we can go out there and love others, but we have to first know God as our healer and receive that healing, you know? So I just want to encourage you, God wants to heal you and God can heal you so that you can be his instrument of healing and blessing for others so that, you know, we can put a stop to that hurt people thing, and we can actually be the healers that go out and heal people. So I hope that encourages you guys, and God bless you.